All right, guys, I am back today taking a look at a very impressive high-value 9mm handgun from Live Free Armory, the Falcon 9XC. This one has a ton of specs and features at a great price, including a built-in comp, raised tritium night sights, RMR cut, flat face trigger and magwell, and much more. We're going to be discussing all of the just overall performance of this handgun and all of the specs and features throughout this overview. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to Live Free Armory for sending this out to the channel, as well as sponsoring the channel. And I also want to give a huge shout out to AAC Ammo for sending out the ammo to help make this video. I actually shot a ton of the AAC 115 grain, 124 and 147 grain to see how this performs down at the range under various scenarios, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the performance section of the video. For more info, you can head over to the campsite page for any of this. Now, one of the first things I want to mention right off the bat is Live Free Armory sent me out a gun, and the recoil spring assembly broke right here. You can see this tab snapped off. Now, I'm actually going to cut the camera because of YouTube's policies. I'm going to show you the updated spring that is now in their handguns. So Live Free Armory was quick to remedy the situation, and not only that, update the guide rod assembly to make it less prone to breakage, and I absolutely love that. You know, occasionally companies are going to have issues, but how they fix them, how they respond is key. And not only did they just send out a replacement, they actually completely fixed the issue, so you shouldn't run into that in the future. And that's what I love about companies that continue to innovate and push the limits, especially in a high value space. So you shouldn't have to worry about this moving forward. But I need to mention this kind of stuff so you guys get a fair and honest evaluation of the handgun. But back into the full review. That parts breakage actually happened on the first round fired. So it was something that was incredibly obvious and incredibly quick to break. But since then, we've run a ton of ammo through this second review model. Now, this particular one has close to, I'd say, about 1,000 rounds through it. And we are running 115 grain, 124, and 147 to really prove it out with no issues whatsoever. And it's been functioning great down for multiple range trips. Now, the last range trip I took it on, I exclusively ran the AAC 115 grain with no issues down at the range. And I want to start with reliability since we had that initial kind of hiccup. And this was 100% reliable with feed, function, ejection, with no issues whatsoever across the board, including Magpul, factory, as well as KCI. And I believe those were the three that I ran in here with no feed issues whatsoever. So across the board, after that first initial issue with the original style spring, we haven't had any issues from there. And it's been running, you know, great, 100% functional with no issues whatsoever. So starting from the front and working our way to the back, we do have a tapered muzzle, which is great for holstering and reholstering for competition style or professional duty use. It also has a tapered underside of the slide, again, making it a little bit easier to holster. We also do get that one ring underneath, or one attachment point underneath, for a wide variety of lights and lasers, very similar to the Glock style. This one also has a comp built into the front, and it does an amazing job. It's not overly large. It keeps the gun shooting very flat. And as you can see in the intro, with the slow-mo, this gun shoots very, very flat, and it's very well balanced while shooting. It's not overly compensated. It's done perfectly. The other thing I want to mention, it is cut for lower reciprocating mass to also kind of allow you to run that optic, add a little weight, and still have a good recoil impulse and still have a good balance. This one also has slide serrations at the front and rear that make it great for press checks and racking the slide with no issues whatsoever. Coming along to the barrel itself, it's a fairly accurate barrel. No issues there. You do have the flutes in the barrel, nice heat dissipation. It runs great down at the range. So no complaints or issues with the slide and barrel about how they perform. In fact, I really love how that slide performs with the comp. Now, these ones actually include raised tritium front high-vis sights, and I like what they did there. These are high enough, especially with this Zulci optic, and if you want to take a look at this competition optic, I've got reviews on my channel, you can actually co-witness with a low-profile optic like this. It's got anti-glare serrations in the rear sight, and that high-vis front pip with that tritium insert allows it to be perfect, again, for competition use or personal defense use. This is definitely targeting like a dual rule pistol. Now, you are going to lend this a little bit more towards competition use because of the included comp and slide cuts. You know, you can always have an ingress of dirt and debris. I don't really see that being an issue for like an inside the house personal defense pistol, but this is really designed for a competition style pistol that can really do a dual role, especially because of its size. Now, the RMR cut works great. I threw this optic on top, no issues there. And again, it sits perfectly with those sights so you can co-witness. This one also has an ambidextrous slide release. Again, that Glock style slide release, Glock style takedown, and overall Glock style feel. This one has a flat face trigger, and I'll show you guys that right here. A very smooth take up. You hit a little bit of a wall, a touch of sponginess, and a crisp break. The reset is short, audible, and tactile, and after a few mags through here, you can really rattle off shots incredibly quick. Definitely an improvement over a standard Glock trigger. When you're looking at this, the MSRP is actually close to a standard new Glock. So you're getting all of those extras. Better trigger guard, a comp included, raised sights, RMR cut, slide cuts, ported barrel, not ported barrel, fluted barrel, all of those updates that you wouldn't get with a Glock, but you are getting them on this handgun for right at about the same price. That's definitely a bonus there. The mag release works good, nothing to complain about. It drops free, it stays out of the way. The texturing is really nice, and it includes the magwell, the enhanced magwell, perfect for competition use. And you can see it's almost a tapered dual undercut. So your hand can get really high. The beaver tail is nice on your hand, very ergonomic design, no sharp points or high points when firing, and it's incredibly easy to pick up those shots for the next round. In summary, if you were looking for a really nice competition pistol that took Glock mags, that had a comp built in, RMR cut, and all of these features, I doubt you're going to find something on the market anywhere close to this price. I really like it. I think you will too, and I'm super glad Live Free Armory sent this out to the channel. Again, we did have that initial issue, but it's been resolved, and not only resolved, but updated for future models, so I can confidently recommend this handgun. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you tried any Live Free Armory handguns? This is my first go at it, and I was very impressed after the replacement came. This is definitely going to be used in a lot more videos because I love the feel and handle of this handgun, especially at the price point. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.